Dropping down to the dome.
Yeah, we finished that.
We did the damage to the homeowner, or damage by the homeowner.
Right.
Rav Papa.
So that's what we did so far. We did the third member of Rava. Ve'amar Rava. Vav Hamosif. Rava said this, and he also said this third din.
Right.
So let's just refresh our memory over here. Amar Rava. Niknes l'chotze balabayis. A person enters into the chutzner, the courtyard of the balabayis, of its owner, shalom rishus, without permission. So he's a trespasser.
Right.
Behezik es balabayis.
He damages the balabayis.
He does injury to the balabayis in an active way. That's the word behezik.
Right.
He actively does hezek to the balabayis.
Right.
Or, balabayis huzakbo. Or the balabayis,
Passively damaged by him.
was injured, the balabayis was injured himself, on him. Bo is referring to the trespasser.
Right.
So that's a passive damage. Either way, the din is chayev. Rashi said by Hazik that he did active damage. It's called that he did active damage whether he intended to do the active damage that he did or he did not intend to do the active damage that he did. Either way, he did it actively.
Right.
Then Rashi says, Huzak, this trespasser, he stood in his place, he was stationary, and then the balabayis came along, the niskal bo, and he was niskal. He stumbled and came to injury bo on him while he was standing there in a stationary state. Either way, the din is higher. Then Rava says, "Zikoi balabayis." If the balabayis actively did something to cause damage to the trespasser, he's patur.
Called the chomer if he passively did something to damage the homeowner, he's patur.
Right. If he was just sitting there on his easy chair by the pool, and the trespasser comes over and trips over him and falls into the pool and drowns, that's not the balabayis' problem.
Right.
Okay. Rashi doesn't comment on that case. But the Tosfos does. The Ziku balabayis patur. Tosfos has a kasha from a different parak that we never learned. Let's leave it. Let's leave it for the moment. And then we learn that.
Right.
Oops. Let's just go further. Okay, take it away, Lou. Amar Rav Papa.
Amar Rav Papa. Rav Papa said, "Lo amaran ella delo hava yada be." We only say this in the case where he did not know. Did not know? Where?
Oh, the other bay.
Was unaware. The homeowner was unaware. This is only talking about a case where the homeowner was unaware of the fact that the trespasser came into his property. Aval hava yada be, but if he did know that that the trespasser came in his property, chiziko bal abayis chayiv, and the bal abayis actively damages the trespasser, he is liable. My time. What's the reason? Mishum de amarle, because the trespasser could say to the homeowner, Nihi deis lecha reshusa la'apuke. You have the right to evict me, ta'apuke, to poke me out. Le'azuke leis lecha reshus. But what's la'azuke? La'azuke?
From the word hezek.
Chesek.
La'azuke, to cause damage to me.
But to chesek, of course. But to cause damage to me, leis lecha reshus. You do not have permission. You have the right to evict me, but you don't have the right to hurt me.
Right? So the only defense, according to Rav Papa, that the Balabais has is that...
I didn't know. I didn't know you were there.
So if he didn't know that he was there, so that makes the damage that he does unintentional.
Right.
And if he unintentionally damages him, even in an active way, he'll be exempt.
Didn't we say before that Rashi said it was intentional or unintentional?
That was Rashi talking about the case of the trespasser doing damage to the Balabais.
Okay. Okay. So it has to be unintentional because he didn't know he was there. So.
I mean, I'm just trying to understand what's the difference between whether he knows and he doesn't. So that's what I would say. If he knows that he's there, you mean to say it's not really so. Even if he knows that he's there, he could also unintentionally damage the guy.
Right. Right, so it's not necessarily intention.
It's not the issue of intention, it's that... So what is it? If he knows that he's there, he has a duty of care towards him?
Yeah.
He has a duty of care to not damage him. He has a right not to be damaged. You don't have any right to damage me.
Once he knows the guy's there, he has to be careful. Even if he didn't give him permission.
He has to be careful from causing damage to him.
Right. Because it's his property. He has a certain responsibility over his property.
Well, let's say he didn't own this property. Let's say it's in the Rishus Harabim. Would he be off the hook in this case? He knows the guy's there?
I would say then intention would matter. If he intentionally hurt somebody in the Rishus Harabim, I would say he's chayiv.
I would say...
unintentionally hurt somebody, unless you're going to say he's negligent.
I would say that the person has more responsibility in the Rishus Harabim than he does in his own property.
Because he expects people to be there.
Because he doesn't have any more right to be there in the Rishus Harabim than the other guy does.
Mm-hmm.
Here, the guy can say, look, this is my property. What are you doing here? You're trespassing. Who asked you to come in? The guy can still say, according to Rav Papa, true, it's true, I have no right to be here. And you have a right to kick me out.
Mm-hmm.
But to damage me, you have no right.
I see you're right. Yeah.
Whereas if he's in the Rishus Harabim, push it.
You gotta be careful when you walk around.
You can't. You have to.
There's children playing.
You have to. What do you call it? You have to be careful not to damage people when you're in the Rishus Harabim. But by that you're going to be liable in the Rishus Harabim.
Right. Yeah, have a good point. I hear you.
Okay.
Rashi?
Maybe that's what Tosus is talking about. Because Tosus, I saw he mentioned something about Rishus Harabim. Gabi Mavakeya. V'chayev Kishem Mavakeya B'Rishus HaYochid V'Hizik B'Rishus HaYochid. Acher. Amal Hizik V'Oso Rishus HaYochid Patur. Oh, okay. You can understand that, Tosus.
What's Mavaka?
He's chopping wood.
Oh.
Vaka comes from the word, what's the three-letter shorish in that word?
Bet Kuf Ayin?
Right. And what's that mean?
Vaka.
Okei Ayam Lifnei Moshe. Zekeli
Split the sea.
Anu Amru. Right? To split.
To split.
So he's
splitting
splitting
wood. Oh, he's splitting wood. The chayav in a place that it's permitted to be, in the forest.
Splitting wood. In Tsama Masnisin Heba Perika Maniach. Gabi Mavakeya. The chayav, this Mavakeya here, is chopping wood, is going to be liable when he causes damage. Kishem Mavakeya B'Rishus HaYochid. He's doing his chopping in a private domain, a Rishus HaYochid. The Hezik B'Rishus HaYochid Acher. And the wood splinters out, and it goes into a different Rishus HaYochid, and it damages somebody over in that other second Rishus HaYochid.
Oh.
Aval. But Hezik also Rishus HaYochid. But if he damages someone in that very same Rishus HaYochid that he is chopping wood in, he's putter. And why is he putter?
That doesn't make any sense to me. Did I miss something?
What Tosus is doing is he's asking a kasha. What's his kasha?
His kasha is, why should it be that he would be putter just because it's the same rishus? He's got the same liability. He chopped the wood, it split around and hit somebody. No, that's not the question?
No.
What's the question?
Tosus accepts the Mishnah over there.
Right.
That's what it says over there, fine. But there's a problem with the fact that it says that over there.
Because he's relating it to our... He's relating it to our Mishnah.
What's the Dibra Mastil of Tosfos? Ezekiel Balabayas Potter.
Right. So we're presuming that the person in this case is the Balabayas.
Second.
We don't know who the person is. It could be the trespasser.
Ezekiel Balabayas Potter. So what's the top of the kasha? Ezekiel Balabayas, he's going to be Potter. If he does damage in that very same Rishus HaYochid, he'll be putter. He's chayev.
If it's in a different one.
If it's in a different Rishus HaYochid. So in that Rishus HaYochid, he's going to be putter. Why is he going to be putter in that Rishus HaYochid? I thought Tosus was asking a stira, but I don't see the stira. I don't see the contradiction between what it says over there and what it says over here. Tosus doesn't explain exactly what the kasha is. Wow. I mean, basically, here you got a guy who's caused damage to somebody in his own domain, which is a Rishus HaYochid, and he's going to be putter. And Tosus says, and over there, when you got a guy who's chopping wood in a Rishus HaYochid, somebody is damaged in that very same Rishus HaYochid by his chopping, he'll be putter on the damage. So there's putter and there's putter for the damage that's done. What's the problem?
It's got to be talking about the first case, where he's chayev when he damages somebody in a different Rishus HaYochid. That's got to be the stira. But why would that be a stira? Why is he chayav if he damages somebody in the other one?
And Tosus wouldn't need to tell me the case of Hezik Osa Rishus, the Yochi Potter.
Maybe
just
just
say,
quoting the complete source. Right? Sometimes the Gemora quotes a complete source, even though part of it's not relevant to your discussion.
Yeah. Let's see what Tosfos answers. The question is really unclear.
It's unclear, I agree with you.
Totally unclear. In Tomar Masnisin he. Oh, that's what Tosfos is saying. You have to read the words of Tosfos a second time.
In Tomar, what do you say?
In Tomar, if you'll ask the following question, what's the question? Masnisin he. It's a Mishnah. The Mishnah says it. Where's the Mishnah? In Perek HaManiach. What's it say over there? It says that somebody who's chopping wood, he's going to be chayav if it goes into another Rishus Yochid and damages somebody over there. But if it damages somebody in that Rishus Yochid that he is doing his chopping in, it'll be potter.
So we already know this. So why are we being told the same thing again?
Why does Rebbe have to tell me something that's an open Mishnah?
I see.
What's Rebbe coming to me HaKodesh? The Mishnah already said it. That's Tosfos Kasha. Tosfos is comparing the case of Heziku Balabayas, that he's potter, to the case of Mavakeh Eitzim B'Rishus HaYochid, Oto Rishus HaYochid, he's potter. Answers Tosfos, Yesh Laimar. The Havisoka Daita, that we might have thought to say, Haslam over there in the case of the wood chopper, Yishum the Iker Trei Sveke. We would have thought to say that on account of the fact that there's two Svekas over there.
But which case are we talking about? The Mishnah above or our Mishnah?
Well, generally, when the Gemora or Tosfos or Rashi or anybody for that matter bring what's the subject of our discussion? The subject of our discussion is
our Mishnah,
our statement of Rava that says Heziku Bei Potter. Right? That's our reference point.
Right. So
Tosfos brings a Mishnah from Lamed Beis Amud Beis. That's called bringing something from left field.
Right.
So if now Tosfos is going to come and say, the answer is because over there, what's over there referring to?
The one that's on
the one that you brought out from left field.
Right.
Presumably.
Right. Okay. So that's the one that we just quoted.
Yeah. So we would have thought that if we had just had that case over there, the reason for the patur is mishum de ikat trei sveke. Why is he potter in the case of the wood chopping? There's two suffix, two svekas over there. What are the two svekas?
One is who says the wood is going to fly around.
Shema lo tehe bakas nitezes. Right? Like you said, very good. Who says that how did the person get damaged? Because one of the wood splinters off and hits somebody and damages them.
Right.
But that's somebody who chops wood. He could chop wood for hours and that won't happen. So the whole damage happening to somebody is a big suffix.
Right.
Whether that'll ever happen. Number one, suffix. Number two, Gam lo yavo shum adam sham v'yuzak.
There isn't a reasonable expect that a person will be there.
Yavo shum adam sham. Yeah.
So if we only had left field, we would have said that the owner is not liable if there's a stake sveka.
The reason why the chopper is not liable is because it's a sveka that he's going to cause any damage. Who says that the thing is going to splinter off? And who says that poked at the time that it splinters off, somebody's going to be there and get hit by it?
So if there was only one sveka, then we might think that he is liable. Therefore, our Gemora, Rava, is coming to tell us that no, even if there's only one sveka, he's liable. Maybe even if there's no sveka, he's liable. Well, there has to be one sveka because you said it's only if he doesn't know. That's a sveka right there.
Rav Papa, which we didn't get to yet, but
right.
True. Rav Papa says he's only liable if he. Well, here the issue is not so much of whether or not he's knows that he's there, but is it possible that somebody could be in my chutzner over here?
Right.
Is it any more likely? Is it any more of a suffix or any less of a suffix that somebody's going to hop into my chutzner than over here? Or maybe it's more of a suffix. Who says that the person going to be there is going to be exactly in that place at the time that the splinter splinters off? That's what Tosfos means to say. Gam lo yavo shum adam sham. Maybe sham is referring to that specific place in the chutzner where the splint is going to go flying.
Right.
It doesn't fly all over the chutzner. It flies in one specific restricted area.
Right. So what's the chance that he happens to be walking right along the path of intersection?
Yeah. So you'll ask, so how would you describe our case?
I would say in our case,
how many svekas do we have over here for the damage that was done by this balabayas to by the damage that was done by the trespasser to this balabayas?
No, it's the balabayas to the trespasser, isn't it?
Heziku balabayas. Oh, because balabayas does hezek, right? Balabayas does hezek to the trespasser. He is exempt.
Right. So I would say that if we include Rav Papa, there's one sveka. There has to be one sveka, which is he didn't know that anybody was there.
Tosfos doesn't mention Rav Papa. Or didn't mention Rav Papa yet.
Right.
What's the first suffix of the case of the wood chopper? Who says there's going to be any damage from what I'm doing?
Right. Who says the wood is going to fly off and fly far away? Maybe I'll chop it and it'll fall right down.
And and what about the balabais who's doing damage to this guy? How? I mean, because we don't know exactly how he did damage to him.
Right, but even if we say he's chopping wood, we don't need that. No. If he's chopping wood, then he has that sveka. But even if we say he's not chopping wood, he's doing something that's more direct. The whole point is that if we needed sveka, then we have a source. So there's going to be no reason for Rabbah to make a statement. The fact that Rabbah made a statement tells us it must be that we don't need sveka. On one sveka is enough, according to Rav Papa. And if you don't say according to Rav Papa, then we'd say there's no sveka is required. Well, it's his property.
What you have to say is that Tosfos understands that Tosfos is giving an answer. The answer is that we need the statement of Rabbah. Tosfos' question was, we don't need the statement of Rabbah. It's a Mishnah that already said it before Rabbah. The answer is Tosfos, no. The Mishnah is not enough. Rabbah is saying something that I would not know from the Mishnah.
Right.
Why? Right. Because the Mishnah says in the Mishnah that there's a patur when there's two sveikas of any damage ever happening.
Right.
It's a sveka that any damage is ever going to happen to anybody.
Right.
Who says that the splinter is going to go off? Who says the guy's going to be pumped in that place right when the splinter goes off?
Right.
Which you cannot, which is not so in the case of the balabais doing damage to the trespasser. In that case, Tosfos understands that you do not have a sveik seika.
Yeah.
And therefore Rav is telling me, in that case you don't have a sveik, and therefore Rav is telling me, even in that case that I'm telling you, that there's no sveika, still there's going to be a patur.
Right.
There's still going to be a patur.
Right.
Also you're saying, if Papa cuts down the patur is only where he doesn't know that he's there altogether.
Right.
Because if he would know that he would be there, Rav Papa would say that he's going to be liable.
Right.
Now, 1 second over here. The Mishnah over there about the wood chopper, if we would say that he knows that the guy came into his place, is that going to mean that he's going to be chayiv now?
It seems so, based on Tosfos' statement that you have to have two sveikas.
Well, even if he knows that he's there, you still have these two sveikas. Who says he's going to be pumped in the place where the wood? Who says the wood's going to fly altogether?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there won't be any wood that's going to fly when he's
right.
here. He's not going to be here for the next 10 hours when I'm doing my chopping. And who says that even if during the 20 minutes that he's here, the 10 minutes that he's here, the 5 minutes that he's here, that any wood's going to come out? And who says that even if it does come out, that he's going to be right in the place to get it over the head in it with it? Sveika. Whether he knows about the fact the guy's there or whether or not.
It's still sveika.
Nevertheless, Rav Papa says, but if he knows that he's there, he's going to be liable. Okay. Anyway, it's an interesting Tosfos.
Yep.
And Tosfos doesn't have anything to say about Rav Papa. Nothing. Okay. Tosfos thought that the Mishnah over there without the wood chopping, it would be difficult in light of what Rav Papa's answering over here. He would have said so.
Mm-hmm.
He would have said so. He obviously doesn't think there's any problem with what Rav Papa says to explain the statement of Rabbah.
So therefore, he must hold like you do that it can still be considered a sveika even if he knows he's there.
Yeah.
Because he's not in the specific spot. That must be true. Because I would have said, no, if he's there, then it's not a sveika because you know he's there. There's a danger. But you're saying no, not a danger because he's somewhere in a whole courtyard, and the splinter only is in one spot, in one line. It's still sveika. It's still a subject.
If he knows that the guy came into the Chatzir, says Rav Papa. Even though, albeit that it's without Rishus, if the Balabais damages it now, it's going to be Chayiv. Why? Because the guy could say, he had no right to injure me. So, Rav Papa understands that, well, I mean, how did we don't, what's not really so clear is what's the case where the Balabais injured him? How did it happen? How did it happen? Tosfos Lachora is saying that even after the Mishnah over there says that your Pater, the Papa is saying more than the Mishnah. The Papa is going beyond the Mishnah Lachora. To say that
Actually,
even when there's no sveika.
you could say the Rav Papa is contradicting the Mishnah.
Yeah, right. The Mishnah said.
What if it's the case of the Mishnah?
Trade sveika. Yeah.
What is the case of the Mishnah? He knows he's there, but it's a sveika. The Mishnah would say pater and Rav Papa would say chayiv. How does that work?
Well, that's right. That's what I'm really asking. What exactly is the case of Haziku Balabai's Potter?
I'm with you.
Let's see what the Gemora says further. Azbila Tamaya.
Where are we?
Last line, in the middle.
V'azdu l'tamayu. And they followed their own reasoning. What's that mean?
They go according to these two, I guess, Rav Papa and Rava, in saying what they say over here, in this case here.
Right.
We can understand that they're going according to the reasoning that was responsible for them saying a certain din in some other case.
Oh, and now we're going to quote that other case?
Yeah.
Damar Rava V'i Tema Rav Papa. Yeah. And Rava said, or some people say that it was Rav Papa that said,
right?
That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Some people say it's Rav Papa that said, Shnehem Bereshus. Both of them are with permission. What's that mean? Both of them. Both of them.
The injurer and the injured. The mazik and the nizik.
Oh, in Tosfos' case.
Rashi tells us what we mean by when we say Shneim Bereshus.
Okay. Rashi. Shneim Bereshus. Hey hey.
Kigon.
What's the pei hey?
It's base resh hey resh, right? You got that?
Base resh hey
resh.
No, I'm saying the first thing. The first thing in the Rashi says pei quote quote hey. You don't have that?
No. What do you? That's Tosus.
Oh, that's why. Okay, sorry. Okay.
By the way, it means Pirisha Kuntras.
Oh, right. That's he's referring to Rashi. Okay. Kagon, for example, the Rishus Arabi in the public area. Oh, or
that's called Shneim Bereshus, which is what we said before.
Oh,
Rishus Arabim is a place where both people say,
they're both.
I got a right to be here. You can't kick me out.
Right.
I got a right to be here.
Right. Okay. Oh, Chatzer HaShotfin.
Chatzer HaShutfin.
HaShutfin, or the courtyard of the guardian.
Partners.
The partners. Oh, the partners.
Oh,
the courtyard of partners.
This.
What partners have the right to be there? Oh. Shinatan lo Bal Habayis Rishus le Yikanes, or the Bal Habayis, the owner of the courtyard, gave permission to the guy that was called the trespasser to come in. Right. So he's not a trespasser anymore. Right. Okay, so now what did that refer to? It referred to both of them with permission. Okay, so this is now. So now, what we're doing is we're saying that either Rava or Rav Papa said, in a case where both have permission,
right?
Oshnehem shelo bereshus, or both of them do not have permission.
They're equal.
And Rashi says, Kagon shenehem ritzon bereshus harabim.
Right.
Both of them. Ratzon.
Ratzin.
Ratzin. Oh, but they're running?
Yes, the marathon. Jerusalem Marathon.
They're running in the Rishus Rabim, so why does that mean they don't have permission?
Because you're not allowed to run in the Rishus Rabbim.
Oh, okay.
You can cause damage to somebody by this guy's running to the bus.
Got it.
And there's somebody that's got a carriage with a young baby in it.
Got it. Okay. So either they both have permission or they both don't have permission. Hiziku ze et ze, and this one damages that one. Chayvin, they are liable.
Chayavin.
Chayavin.
The damager is chayav for the damage done to the damagee. In both of these two scenarios, when they're equal in their right or lack of right to be in that place where the damage occurred.
Right. So why is that following after this reasoning? Because
we're not finished with the statement yet.
Oh, okay, so let's go on.
Husku zeh
Husku zeh, if there was passive damage from one to the other, Pturin, they're exempt.
Yeah.
Okay. Tsama, the reason. Did Shnehem Bereshus Shnehem Shelo Bereshus? The reason is because either both have permission or both don't have permission. Aval, but
equal.
Right, they're equal. That's why we say that active damage is liable and passive damage is not liable, because they're equal. Aval echad bereshus ve'echad shelo bereshus. One has permission and the other one doesn't have permission. The reshus patur. The one that has permission is going to be exempt. Shelo bereshus chayav. The one that does not have permission is going to be liable. Okay, so that follows the logic of that they're applying, because in our case, we were talking about a case where he did not have permission, but they're not equal, and we said liable. But wait a second, didn't we say there was a homeowner? Yeah, we said if he doesn't have permission, he's liable. If he has permission, he's not liable. Right, so we're following the same logic. Okay.
We see, in other words, that in this case that Rebbe mentions, when the homeowner does damage, he's putter, unless he knows. When the guy that doesn't have the right to be there does damage, either active or passive, he's going to be liable.
But wait a second. Even if he knows, it's still the case that he has permission and the trespasser does not have permission. Right. So he should be exempt even if he knows if they're going to follow that reasoning. So Rav Papa, if it's Rav Papa that we're quoting, then we have a problem.
Rav Papa, if he knows that he's there, even if he's trespassing, so then it becomes a case where he makes a division in the case of in that case.
Right. Case of the homeowner doing damage.
Case of the homeowner who has the right to be there, and the other one doesn't. But if the homeowner knows, so then the damage that he does, he's liable for.
So that does not match the reasoning.
Well, here the Gemora is saying that what they said Rava and Rav Papa so far matches with what they said over here. There's a match.
And I'm saying if it's Rav Papa, it doesn't match. So
why? Because Rav Papa doesn't. Because we don't see any reference to whether he knew or not.
Yeah. Exactly. According to this line of reasoning, it only matters whether there's permission or not permission. It doesn't make any difference whether he knew.
Okay, let's see how Rashi explains that. We got a lot of Rashis over here. Here, let's see what how Rashi explains.
Okay. Chaziko, active damage.
Oshneim. Oh, we did Oshneim Shlo Rishus. We did that.
We did that, yeah. Chaziku. Biyadayim. Zeh et zeh. With his hand. This one damages this one. Va'afilu shelo b'miskaven. And even if he didn't intend it, it's active. It's considered active if he did it with his hand, even if he didn't intend it. Intention is not the necessary aspect of active. Chayvin. He's obligated.
He's not stationary. He's moving along. He's moving about. He's doing something, and in the course of doing that, he's causing damage, even if it's unintentional.
Right.
That's in that event, the damager will be liable.
Right.
Says Rashi,
Chayavin, liable. Debet nezikin, for the damage. Lo shnei, not lo shani. There's no difference line in it. Bain miskavein, between whether he intended it. L'she'ein miskavin, or he did not intend it. V'ha d'tanan b'hamaniach, and this that we learned in Hamaniach, above, Daf Lamed Bet, Amid Aleph, shanim shehayu mehalchin, two that are going, Reshus Rabim, v'haziku zeh et zeh, and this one damages that one, Turin, he's exempt. Hahu haziko, the one who damaged him, havuko?
Husko.
Husko.
Oh, wow.
Who? The one who damaged him, the one was damaged by him? Who? It is below dak belishna.
Yeah.
I don't know what that dak belishna is.
Okay, so Rashi has explained that in this case, there's going to be a chiyuv for active damage, whether intentional or unintentional.
Right.
When they're equal in their reshus to be where they are.
Right.
Rashi says, but I got a kasha from a Gemora in Hamaniach, Lamed Beis, Lamed Aleph. It says over there, Shnaim Shahu Mahalchim, Reshus Rabim. Both of them are walking along in the Reshus Rabim.
Right.
So that's a case right up our alley. That's called Shneim Reshus.
Right.
And it says, V'haziku zeh zeh, and they do damage to one another.
Okay.
And the din is Turin.
Both of them are putter.
Is that a problem?
Is that a problem? They both have permission, so they should both be exempt. No, it's not a problem.
No problem?
I don't think so.
What does it say in this statement of Rava and Rav Papa on that case?
That if they have permission, they're putter.
Heziku, if they do active damage to one another, Hayopin, it says. Right?
Oh.
Husku is if the inactive damage is done.
Right,
in their patur. But active damage with Heziku is Hayop. So Rashi's bringing from a Mishnah that says not like Rava and Rav Papa. So Rashi says, I got a Mishnah over here that contradicts Rava and Rav Papa. It says that when they do active damage to one another, and both of them were walking along in Rishus Rabim, where they both have a right to be, both of them are patur on each one's damage that they actively did to the other one. So that's not what Rav and Rav Papa said. They said Heziku Zeazez Chayovin.
Right.
So answers Rashi. Says Rashi.
Heziku.
Havu Heziku.
The one who damaged was damaged.
Yeah.
So the one, it's not the case that both of them are active. The one that did the damage was himself damaged passively. Right?
There was no. Havu Heziku. This word over here in the Mishnah that says Heziku, that we're talking in the Mishnah about active damage being done one to the other. Uskuhu. It doesn't mean that, says Rashi.
Oh.
Uskuhu. Below Dak Balishne.
What is that?
The Tana of the Mishnah was not precise in his selection of words. Shh. Pella. If I would have said that, they would have reported me to the Rosh Yeshiva and would have thrown me out of the yeshiva.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is incredible. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. On a Mishnah? To say that the Mishnah is not precise?
It's hard to, this is very hard to hear.
Let's see. So we have a Tosfos over here. Tosfos quotes Rashi.
Okay, where is it? Let's see. Shnehem Rishus. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think he's going to get to this case.
Okay. HaKodesh, but which said the payment?
Or actually, maybe he's not going to get to this case. No, he doesn't say. He doesn't quote this part of Rashi. It says he looked up Palishne. That didn't bother Tosfos. What's he going on? He's going on the case of Shneim Rishus. This is going on the case of Shneim Shalob Rishus. Tosfos is going on. That's what Rashi said that Shneim Shalob Rishus is referring to two people that are running in the Rishus Rabim. It's not our case. It's not our issue. Tosfos is not focused on our issue at all. Okay. So what are we going to say about this? I don't know. What are we going to say about this? This is quite surprising, Rashi. Okay, let's go further.
I'm surprised he didn't say Bal Karcha. Against your will, you have to say. If you said Bal Karcha, then I can understand it. He's saying you've got to say that this is the way to read it because that's the only way you can read it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say Mitmiya, he doesn't say Bal Karcha, he doesn't say any of the words that I would expect to indicate that this seems astounding.
Sure.